What's up, guys? Crew Adam from King's Muay Thai inside Combat Sports Center, Salem. We're gonna go over some body lock positions and counters and defenses tonight. So the first one I like to work when he gets his body lock, if I've got my elbows in, I wanna keep it simple. I'm gonna shove the forearms out, hips are gonna go back, foot's gonna go back, and I'm gonna make some space so that I can land in some good knees, and then I'm gonna close that space off, get back in my heavy feet, heavy hips back down. Okay, if he manages to get in, I don't have my elbows already in there. Heavy hips, wide stance, fish one elbow in, fish the second elbow in. Now we're going back to that same make space. And we can go either foot, either leg, depending on what you want to set up and which side you want to go. Doesn't matter which side your head is on. It's all the same. Hip back or forearms forward, land your knee, close off the distance. Okay? Our next one, for whatever reason, doesn't work, or I just need to have a couple extra options, a couple different things in my tool belt. So the next one, I'm gonna try to keep a wide stance. I don't need to go wider than him. I just need to keep a wide stance. If I can, that's fine, but I don't want to go so wide that it takes me out of my athletic positions. So I'm gonna have a nice wide stance, nice hips out, I'm staying in tight. I'm going to just lean back as I need, right? Rock the chest back, this arm's coming over, it's going right across the throat. If you don't have the space in that lean back, you can come, hand up, grab whatever real estate, forehead, nose, whatever it is, peel it back, slide the hand through. Once you get your glove, your elbow, or not your elbow, but your forearm across the throat, this hand's gonna extend it out. Comes back in, heavy back, lean back, forearm across the throat, dominant hand helps extend it out. You got two options from here. Now, if they have committed their head or their chin in one direction, right, so is that away? I got the easiest one over the top, one over the bottom, one over the top. I don't even need a leg blocking at that point. I'm just going to kind of step back as needed, and I'm going to turn his head opposite direction of where his neck will allow him to go. If he has not committed his head to a side, I like to go opposite of my hand or of my head. Grab a hold of whatever you can. If you can get his forehead, that's great. If you can't, grab what you can. Slide it out just to the side of his leg. You can get in a little knee bump action if you want. You just can't hook with the calf. You can't bring the heel up, any of that stuff. So once I grab a hold here, step it out to the side, this hand can assist in the rotation, and we're gonna peel that head right off onto the ground. All right, the next one. Say that one doesn't work, or I just need more space, or I want to try something else. Okay, this works on both sides. I like to try to control over the top on my right side. Gives me a little bit more options to protect my liver. I'm gonna overhook, or not overhook, but I'm gonna grab the back here, try to keep control, try to keep them in tight. Okay, I'm gonna come work this right here on the bicep. I'm gonna shove it forward, and I'm gonna blade my body back. That's gonna give me enough space right in there, right? So I'm in tight. I've got no space to fish any kind of arm through. So I'm pushing down on the bicep, push it down, blade it out, gives me just enough space to fish this arm through. We're going in high, we're gonna get a little step. We're almost hip checking them. This hand's gonna go up high, straight down to the ground. This arm can come down and assist pulling, let's get it out here, pulling this hand, it can stay up here. Doesn't matter, it's personal preference. Okay, so once I get in, bring it back, step under, shoot that hand through, you go down for the sweep. If I want to keep the same technique, we'll rock the other direction. It still works, right? I come through, get in deep, step in one. I'm gonna walk through with my right foot, send them that way, and we go over the top the other direction. All right, our next position. Okay, so I'm in tight. First two didn't work, or I just want to go on to something else. It's very, very similar in that I'm going to stay wide stance, heavy hips. This is not a sprawl, right? A sprawl, feet are out here. Nobody's going for my feet. I'm not going to shoot for a double leg, so I'm out tight. I'm going to get my shin bone across his leg. This is not a knee defense, so I don't need to cover both. I'm just getting it up here, and I'm going to shove this out. Okay, so when I'm up, shove that out. You can see it gives me the space right here. Shove that arm back through, foot's gonna go straight down. Same finish, over the top for the sweep. You can do the same thing. We'll go work it at this angle from this side. All right, so I got my space, shoved it out, stepped it through. Now if I want to send him the other direction, it is the same thing. Right foot's gonna step through him, pull it that way. and they go down. Okay. Our next one, hips down, staying heavy. All right, I'm gonna control his hips until I want. I don't want to stay out here, right, where he can still catch me with knees, but I'm gonna be out. I'm just not gonna let him close that distance until I want. When I'm ready, I'm gonna choose to step forward. It's the same hip bump setup we've been going with. Gonna guide his arms that way. All right, step through, bring him over the top. One more time on there. Hips out, heavy hips. When I'm ready, step it in, bring him over. Got it, especially on this one. Make sure as we're stepping, we're not rotating through and loading him up onto the back of the hip. That's a no-go, right? So I'm in, I'm basically walking through him. If anything, I'm cup checking. Bring him up on the front of the leg, switch him over.